Hello, YouTube. So this is Kara Lancey coming back at ya. I wanted to mention for many times now, but always have forgotten during my videos, is to mention my height. I know I've always talked about my weight and where I'm at currently, but I've never mentioned my height. I am currently, well, should be forever, 5'6", and I'm currently at the weight of 320. Goes up and down anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds, depending. I've always kind of fluctuated up and down, depending. But I wanted to come at you today about my fears, my scares of surgery. And to be honest with you, I am terrified. And I was talking to a really good friend of mine that I've been friends with since I was a teenager, and him and I were talking today, and I am terrified of surgery, and not only surgery, but what lies beyond if I don't have surgery. So I'll tell you a little background. I know I've mentioned before in a little past history, but that my mother passed away many years ago. She passed away at age 45 and has always been such a staple in my life. She was always overweight, and her and I had tried many a times in my younger years to lose weight, but it never happened, and we couldn't stick with it. And like I said before, I mean, she wasn't the healthiest person, so we learned to eat good. And we could make some tasty meals, which I still use in my life still today. But when I look back at the past, I am terrified, because the fact that she passed away from 10 years from what I am now literally scares me to death. My children will be either right at preteen / early teen years if I passed away when she did. And luckily for me, I was a little bit older than what they are, because she had us younger than what I had my children. But it's still the fact that I will miss out on so much of their lives if I passed away right now when she did. And she didn't technically pass away from obesity-related issues. She actually had, from what, there's 3 of us children, and so it was always we vote and the majority wins, and my brother and my sister decided not having an autopsy, and I decided on having one. So technically we don't know 100% of how she passed, since we didn't have an autopsy, but we know that from more likelihood that she had a brain aneurysm, and that she had a blood clotting disorder, which is called antiphospholipid disorder. Well, actually, anticoagulant phospholipid disorder, which is a blood clotting disorder. And previous to that, for several years before she passed away, like 5-7 years, I actually helped take care of her before she passed, and it was hard seeing her deteriorate. Well, like I've mentioned before, my sister had cancer and so on and so forth. So, I mean, I've taken so many blood tests, and right after my mom passed away, we actually did the same checking, and I tested negative, thank God. My sister, which, like I said, has cancer and so on, that's currently cancer-free, but she's still fighting the rest of chemo and having those surgeries to make sure she's completely 100% cancer-free. But she tested positive. And my brother, who is also younger than both of us girls by, 3-4 years, depending on the child, he tested negative as well. Well, sad to say, they said that I had to continually check for this disorder as I grew up, because it can pop up further in age. Well, through weight loss, surgery inquiries, and cancer inquiries, I tested positive. So going further with surgery, I have this disorder, which means that they're going to have to pump me up full of anticoagulants, which means that I will have to be having extra things to make sure I do not have blood clots, because I'm already prone to them. My blood is already clotting more than it should, and so therefore during surgery I will have to make very special care that I don't have that. And so I already know that's working against me compared to a lot of other people's surgeries. Not only that, but every surgery I've ever had in my life has had problems. I remember I don't remember quite, but I know I had surgery when I was a baby for tubes, which from what I know went well, so that one's not a big deal. I had a skin cancer removed when I was a child, which I've always constantly had to be checked for, which hasn't progressed, so that's not too bad as well. And then when I was 13, I had to have an ovarian cyst removed, which actually traumatized me, honestly, for the rest of my life. And it had caused so many complications, and from that surgery, I mean, they were going to do it laparoscopically, just like this surgery would be, but they had to open me up hip to hip, just like, any other C-section or so on. And I was 13. And not only that, but shortly after that, I had a massive drug reaction to the medicine they gave me, and I ended up having an ocular gyrate crisis, where my eyes rolled in the back of my head. I started, my head was tilting back and trying to reach my ankles, and I was literally having full seizures. And since then, I haven't had an issue, up until a few nights ago. Since I'm in my food funeral stage, and I ate some, is considered a super nacho from a massive, amazing Mexican restaurant, and my friend brought those for me. And I ate those, and I had the worst indigestion ever, and I couldn't get it away, and I was having massive gas pains. And like I said, literally that was 2 nights ago, and I couldn't get it to go away. Well, about a month and a half ago, we were driving up to a wonderful lake here in Colorado to go fishing, me and my husband and my children. And my daughter got what we thought might have been motion sickness because of the long journey. Come to find out, we all had the stomach flu, so that's what it was. But at a gas station, we bought some Pepto, some chewable Pepto. So this night, they're just having massive problems with indigestion. I decided, oh my gosh, I remember that we have this Pepto in the car. So I ran out to the car and I took it. And come to find out, I had this exact same reaction that I had as a kid, which I've been so careful since then to make sure we stick away from all the nausea medicines, which is, a huge line of all the nausea medicines, which I hear so many people talk about during their videos and everything, that I can't take. I can't take them because I have a massive reaction to them. Well, growing up, we never had Pepto in the house. I mean, all through my life, we've never just bought Pepto. I mean, even for my children, I haven't bought Pepto. But it was just because that's what was available at the gas station, so, it's Pepto. It helps with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, upset stomach. It has the 5 signs of things that it works for. So I didn't think anything of it until I started having the exact same reaction. And terrified, I woke my husband up, because I took it shortly before bed. I woke my husband up because I was convulsing and shaking and terrified, and panic is one of the feelings of this disorder, and my head was jolting back, and I was literally seizing at the time. And then I remembered that I'm allergic to nausea medicine, and this is one of the side effects. So I took the medicine, and thank God that, all I need is to take Benadryl, massive amounts of Benadryl, and it goes away. So that is gone, but that is such a stark reminder of my past surgeries. Since then, I had a hernia removed that, even though, again, laparoscopically, it was taken care of, and then has since reopened, that they're going to try to refix during my bariatric surgery. So I'm going to have a hernia repair while I do my bariatric surgery. But they're going to try to refix that, but I had that, and the incision wouldn't heal, and it took months and months and months to heal. And the same with TMI for all those people that have issues with that. But as a big girl, we get some skin tags. And in my teenage years, I had a phase where I wore lots and lots of skirts. Well, because of my legs rubbing together, because I'm not skinny like this where it doesn't touch, I rub like this. So up in here, I had some massive skin tags, so they were going to just literally cut them out and sew it together. So they did that, and once again, the surgery didn't go well, and it wouldn't stay closed. So therefore, I had giant, open, huge wounds, went from here to here, on both my legs, that would not stay closed. And it took months and months and months to heal. And talking about a fat girl trying to walk with her legs like this because she couldn't let them touch like a normal person, very fun, by the way. But that is the life of us, and that's the thing that I've always thought of, is it's just the way it has to be. I'm not like everyone else, and I know that. But then comes to the fact that this is terrifying for me. I've never, ever, ever dealt with surgery well. And although I'm so beyond excited, and I keep thinking, and I keep praying about how I'm going to be, and I know, and I'm not one of those people that think, oh, I'm going to be 110 pounds, and life's going to be perfect. Because I know that's not the truth. But I keep thinking, even 100 pounds from now, 100 pounds from now, I'm still going to be 220, which is still technically obese. So, but even at that, dear God, think of the things that I could do compared to what I can do now. And yet I'm still terrified of what this surgery holds. I am so scared that at times I'm scared to go through with it. Not that I'm going to ever give up. And just like Meg said in her recent video, or she didn't say in her video, but in her message, she's not going to give up. She's scared, but she's not giving up. And that's how I feel. Is I am terrified, but at this point in my life, I'm just as terrified of staying as I am. Like I said, my mom passed away 10 years from now. I'm not ready to give up at that point. I'm not ready to end my life at that point. I can't stop. I can't give in. I can't not go forward with the surgery. I need to do this. And I keep telling myself that over and over again, because I am so scared that just as many problems can happen. I mean, I've had, like I said, little outside surgeries where they just take off skin. They don't even cut into me, into my body. And yet I've had that many problems. And yet now they're cutting off portions of my anatomy, portions of my intestines in my body. You know, organs is gone. Parts of my organs are gone. And yet, I'm saying, yes, let's do this. Come on. It'll be okay. Because I know that's what has to be done. So, as terrified as I am, I know that the other options of me not having the surgery are more terrifying. And I know I try to keep so many of my videos positive and upbeat and funny and so on, but I am scared. I am so scared that all the same stuff that has happened throughout my entire past, that has happened throughout my entire history, is gonna come back. Is gonna come back to haunt me. And that I will be that 1%. Like, very few of us are. And I know that VSG Mom and me and them are having that 1% chance. That's me. That has always been me. I have been the 1% chance through every surgery I've ever been to or ever been through. And that is terrifying to know that in honesty, all likelihood, that is going to be me, and yet I'm still going through with it. Because I know the other option is not a choice anymore. That I honestly cannot live like me and live healthy anymore. So, okay, back up to where I am normally. That is the old me. And even though it may take a long time for me to heal, I do heal. And normally I do heal better than what I was before. And that's what I'm drawing from. That's what I'm looking forward to. Not the complications during, not the problems of, but what I can be. What I will be. Not what I can be, what I will be. Because that's what I know I will be. I will be healthier. Even if I'm not the healthiest person out there, even if I want that model in that bikini that's at the beach, I don't care. As long as I'm healthy and I'm here for my children and I live to my 50s. If I live to my 60s, dear God, that'd be amazing. That'd be more than anyone in my family has been. My grandparents all passed since then. If I can live to my 60s, dear God, would that be a miracle? So yes, I don't care what complications I have, what problems I have, and dear God, I wish that I don't have any, but if I do, yep, I'm doing it. It is worth it to be healthy in the long run. So for all that, I pray everyone has a healthy and speedy recovery, and for all of you that do, hope and pray for the people that don't, because there's so many people that don't, and you know, my heart goes out to them because I have been there, done that, and I pray to God that isn't the case this time, but it very well might be for me, and that is terrifying, but we'll have to see. My surgery is less than a month away, which I am super excited for, and don't get me wrong, I am ready for it and I'm willing for it and I'm totally excited, but I'm also terrified. And for that, I think that many of us are. So I hope this touches someone and realizes that you're not the only one. You're not the only one scared and yet still willing to do it. You're not the only one that's dreading it yet accepting it and excited for it and hoping for it and praying for it and all the things we've done for so many months and years and so on. You're not alone. We all have the same difficulties, even if we don't always portray it. So, well, let's hope that next time my videos are much more chipper, which they normally are, but my fears. And I gotta say that I'm very lucky in the aspect that I'm not afraid of losing my husband or my family or anything through that, because even though I'm big, I'm so secure in me, and I'm so secure in my relationships with my husband and my children, my family, and everyone else, that's not what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of losing my family. I'm afraid of losing me completely, and me being gone. And if I can live past that, every day is a miracle. So, here goes. Well, less than a month away, and I hope you guys continue with me. If you like this, like it. If not, bugger off, because this is for me. And I hope you subscribe, because if you guys like me, like me. If not, again, bugger off. So, well, have a great day, and I know this video's dragged on forever, but sometimes what you have to do to just get it out, and I'm hoping from now on that things will be better. So, good night, y'all. Thanks. And I bless you all a happy journey, not better than mine.